All right, what's up? What's up, good people? What's up, good people? Giving you a follow up. Like I said before, I'll be sharing some progression videos. This is a video of me changing out my starter. Again, remember, this is my first time. I had a hell of a time taking that bolt out. I was doing research, and a few things told me that the starter was 2 bolts. Found out it was 3. I had a very complicated bolt that I needed to get out that was actually at the bottom of the starter, and I'll show that to you in a second. As you can see a little bit, got the third one out. I was able to pull that starter right on out of there. I was excited about it. It was my first piece that I've ever taken out of a car by myself. So, like I said, I'm not really a mechanic or anything. Everything is going to be a learning progress, which I take great pride in. So I'm going to grab the other starter, line them up side by side, make sure they're the same thing. But for right now, I'm going to show you those 3 holes I was telling you about. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I'm just over here admiring the starter. Like I said, man, I know a lot of you guys out there, y'all work on a car on a daily basis. I know how to change the tire and do the small things like that, but actually taking parts out wasn't something that I've always done. But here are the three places for the bolts. 1, 2, and then 3 at the top. The research I was doing told me there was only 2 bolts, but it was actually 3, so I should be aware of that. And also there's a ground. That right there is the ground that's on the base of the inside of the car that hooks directly up to the starter. So if you're ever taking the starter out of a Falcon, make sure you stay aware of that. Here are the starters lined up side by side. Yeah, just making sure they're the right fit. Still a little excited about it. It's all good. So we're gonna throw that bad boy back in there. And again, the reason why I'm doing the voiceover is because I did a terrible job with recording. It was extremely loud. I was excited, so I was a little all over the place. So I wanted to give some type of clarity with the video. So after getting all the bolts back in, as you can see, I got the new starter placed back in there. I'm gonna put the ground on. I replaced the starter solenoid as well. So that was a good thing. I replaced the starter solenoid. And then as I was changing out the starter, I was taking a look at the engine, going over, I'm going to change out the carbs, I'm going to change out the spark plugs and the wires, I'm going to change out the ignition coil, all of that. But in this video, I'm just going to focus on the starter solenoid, and the initial coil. I also recognized one thing as well while observing the engine. I have an inline 6. My brother was telling me to always observe the entire everything. So as an inline 6, I had no idea what that was until seeing the Falcon a while back. Inline 6 are extremely easy to work on, especially if you're a beginner. I didn't realize that there is a leak, and there's transmission fluid back there leaking. So I'm going to have to get to that later on. But today we're going to focus on the starter solenoid, and the ignition coil. But yeah, there's that leak right there. Took a little break, and I got back to the initial coil. Sorry for the recording right here. It's a little bad. The angle is kind of bad. But all I'm doing right now is taking out the 2 screws that connect the initial coil. I was having a little bit of problems with getting one of the screws off. So I tried to use my hand. That obviously did not work, so I got the correct socket wrench and eventually was able to get that stubborn ass initial coil out of there. It is on the left side of the engine, driver's side. It's on the driver's side of the engine if you're looking for it. But yeah, after fumbling around with it, I was able to finally get the thing out of there. Finally got it out, looked at the bracket. Bracket looked fine. That is the initial coil. Never been changed. So I went ahead and changed that. I still need to figure out what that thing is in front of the initial coil. I have no idea what that is with the 2 little cylinders coming up the top. I didn't know if that was a fuel pump or maybe, like I said, it may sound crazy. I didn't know what that was, so I'm gonna have to go back and look that up. But yeah, starter solenoid change, starter change. Now we're gonna get back to this ignition coil. We'll make sure we line up the initial coils, make sure they're the same size. They are. Everything, the connectors and everything aligned. So we're gonna get that thing back in there. And this is direct fit, so it's really not hard to, once you take it out, it's not hard to put it back. So everything lined up. Got the red wire, got the black wire, the ground, got everything how it needs to be. So again, to recap, we changed out the initial coil, changed out the starter, we changed out the starter solenoid. Now we're going to focus later on getting the wires changed, getting a new carburetor, oil change, the basic tune-up. So we need to change out any gaskets, then we'll get to that. But I wanted to get this home quickly and at least do something to it. So I'm super proud of myself. Again, y'all see something I didn't do right, please don't hesitate to let me know. I take criticism real well. I'm doing this to show my love and also to learn and get some experience from it, and also to teach my boys. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen, man.
go slide. A lot on my mind, it's just me and my ride. Do what you do, just let me go drive. It's just me and my